Hello, my name is Cesar Ramirez, and today I'll be presenting to you about food webs. What are food webs? Food web is a connection to food chain and shows what eats what in a place where other species in a community live. Food webs are also a joint relation of different food chains. So here at this picture at the bottom just shows us a food web of the ocean and how it moves from the bottom all the way up of what eats what. How do they form? Food webs start by the connection of food chains, and it begins with producers at the bottom, moves on up towards primary consumers, secondary consumers, and then tertiary consumers. So at the bottom, the producers, that's where all the plants are at, which is like the kelp, the phytoplankton. Then moves on to the primary consumer, which is like the fish, and then the secondary consumer, which would be like the sea otters, and tertiary consumers, which is the main predator, like the great white shark. They are also built to show us the interaction between species. And here's a quick little video.
Let's visit an underwater forest near Monterey, California, where kelp grows over 100 feet tall, reaching towards the sunlight above. Its fallen blades litter the seafloor below, providing nutrients for a host of creatures, including these spiny purple sea urchins, which move slowly in search of food. Sea urchins make a tasty meal for this marine mammal. Sea otters help keep the sea urchin population in check. Too many sea urchins will devour living kelp, destroying the forest. We consider otters a keystone species. As active predators, they protect kelp from hungry herbivores like sea urchins, and help maintain diversity and balance in this ecosystem. But we're seeing just one small part of an intricate network. Sunflower stars also prey on sea urchins and may become dinner for a hungry sea otter. But otters prefer abalone and crabs. From the smallest microbes to the largest animals, these species take part in a diverse food web that links more than 1,000 species. The connections in the web represent the transfer of energy with every meal.
In the video, it just gives a better description of how the ocean food web connects all the different species. And as you may have heard in the video, you may have heard something that they said, which was keystone species. And you're probably wondering, what is a keystone species? Well, a keystone species is a species that has great impact on food webs, since it is the most important species. It is one of the most important species of food web, and the removal of a keystone species causes a huge effect on that community. For example, as you may have heard about the sea otter being a keystone species because it helps eat the sea urchins, and the sea urchins, if they were consumed by the sea otters, would destroy kelp forest, which would just break down the whole food webs and start causing problems around in the community. Why are the food webs important? They are important because it shows us the feeding relationship of the species within that community of the food web, and it also shows us the transfer of energy in an ecosystem. The sun is the source of all the energy, and there's a difference in the transfer of energy between producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. The energy just flows differently between them. The producers take the energy from the sun, and when the primary consumer eats it, the transfer of energy happens. So producers gain the energy. Once the primary consumers eat it, they get the energy. When the secondary consumer eats them, the energy keeps on flowing, and then all the way up to a tertiary consumer. Humans do happen to have a huge effect on food webs, mostly because of these two main reasons. Fishing. So humans could also be considered like a tertiary consumer because they're the one that we eat all of the marine life. So just that causes a huge problem in the food web, because if we start eating more of one thing, then consumers and wouldn't have anything else to feed on. So that's a huge problem. And also pollution. So there's been throughout the years, pollution has been a huge problem for the oceans, and us not taking care of it just causes many problems by killing many marine life and just not letting them live properly and well, and it just affects the whole community. At the end, I really do miss the class and the labs. They were really fun, and just hope I get the chance to do that all over again. Stay safe, and thank you.